Hello and welcome to this month's Newbie Live. I am Sunny, Sonlight's community manager, and I'm being joined by Lisa, one of your Sonlight mentors. And we're going to be talking all about what's new at Sonlight in 2024 and all about the sales that are coming up in the spring to help you maximize your savings for placing your order next year, as well as answering any questions you may have about what you should order next and those types of things. So Lisa, thank you so much for being here. Do you want to provide a little insight into your background and why you're an expert on this topic?
Well, expert. Wow, that's a big thing. I am Lisa on your mentor team. I did use Sonlight with with my two girls through their whole school career. So you've heard me say that before. But I think one of the reasons that Sunny asked me to participate today is just because of one of my roles at Sonlight. I work with a lot of you probably know my voice in selecting your curriculum and getting the best deal for your curriculum, whether that's on the phone or on the convention floor. So I'm excited. I know when I was homeschooling, this is the time that, you're like, okay, what are we going to do next year? And you're trying to do all your budgeting. So I think this is going to be really helpful for, especially as a newbie, when you've only got 1 year under your belt, you don't even know what you don't know about what to do next. So I think this is going to be really helpful for them.
Yes, exactly. And even if you're still in the middle of your year, don't worry about it. You don't have to finish a year before you start ordering. You'll notice if you kind of check around in the app or on Facebook, you'll see some of the longtime Sunlighters, they'll order when they're still in the middle of the year. So don't tune out yet because we're going to tell you how to save the most and do what's going to be best for your family for the upcoming year. The first thing I want to remind you of is to go request the catalog. If you have not done that yet, that's sonlight.com/catalog. You can request a printed one to be mailed to you, or you can download the digital copy now, or you can do both. Either one is fine. But really what we want you to do is get in there and take a look at the next program for whatever you're doing now. So you can kind of see what's coming out and make decisions that way. Lisa, if you were finishing up your first year, what would you look at to determine, what should I do next? Do you just buy the next program? Should you consider some other things first? What suggestions would you offer there?
So I think as a first year person, you probably loved some things more than others. And that's one of the great things about being here in the newbie group is that if you had some bumps or bumbles, you can check with your mentor. And a lot of times it's just a little something, just an idea that someone else had. And it's probably not a earth-shattering idea, but just something you haven't thought of. And so that's always a good thing if you're having any struggles. But it is a good time that if you especially were just starting out homeschooling, if you're a true homeschool newbie, maybe math didn't go the way that you thought it would. It's not the way your child learns, or it's not the way that you effectively teach. Now's the time to do some investigating on that. And I would do the next letter, unless something has dramatically changed in your homeschool. But also checking out, like, do you have a new kindergartner that's going to join you? That kind of thing. And again, your mentors, the advisors, all of those people are experts at putting all that together. So that's really what I would do is say, okay, if I'm doing K, I'm going to do A next year, but then just think, what is it that I loved? What worked okay? Can I tweak it? And then if you had anything that just didn't go like you thought, and usually that's math, or maybe a handwriting program, like it didn't work for you. That's the time to investigate those options.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Lisa pointed out, our mentors, our advisors, we have a lot of resources there for you. If you post a question in the app, hey, I'm thinking about this. What did you do? Or I'm not sure about, are my kids the right age for this, or those types of things. You'll get a lot of feedback from other people to find out what worked for them, what didn't work for them, what they've supplemented, what they didn't, all of those things. So yeah, definitely don't just wonder without reaching out to us somewhere. And if you don't want to call Sonlight, if that feels like a big thing, just post your question in the app, reach out to your mentor. We're here to help you. So we would love to give you some guidance on that. Like Lisa said, she homeschooled with Sonlight for many years. I'm still in the middle of the homeschooling with Sonlight as well. So we're very familiar with the product as well and what you're going through. But we're going to jump into what's new this year, because this is something that you might want to consider. Sonlight's about to have a really big sale coming up on older materials, but the new materials are coming out. And so you might want to consider which program you're going to purchase for the next year. Lisa mentioned the next letter, but there might be updates to that letter coming out in the new year. And so if you want those updates, that would be something to consider too. So let's talk first, Lisa, about what is coming new this year. There's a lot of exciting updates, I think, especially for high school. If you have a child in high school, you know that oftentimes some of the elementary and middle school programs get updated more frequently. And so I know I'm very excited. I have a high schooler about some of these updates that are coming out. But let's talk about high school virtual. What is that, and what can people look forward to with virtual?
Yeah, that's really exciting. I think a lot of times, by the time you get your kids to high school, you're not as involved, and maybe that's not your choice. Maybe life circumstances have changed, or you've taken a part-time job because your child is more independent. And I know that sitting around is not, that's just not something I do. So I think it's common that people, when their kids get to high school, the mom starts doing some other things. So the high school virtual, so fun. It is going to be an online kind of thing with questions. Instead of your questions in your IG, we've rewritten them to be multiple choice or drag and drop or true false or some short response. But those things that have a definite answer are going to automatically give your child feedback. You can do those assignments. You can upload your written assignment. This is great for people who are in states that require some oversight. You can share that information. And have your overseer have access and be able to check on your work, and you can make assignments and check things off. So I think it's just going to be a great addition to an already fabulous high school education.
Absolutely. I know a lot of you get nervous about assigning grades in high school. So this is one great way, because Sonlight Virtual will actually assign the grades for you. Like Lisa said, your student will read the book. They'll log in on the student side of the virtual platform, and they'll answer the questions, and it will grade them. And then you as the parent will have kind of the teacher's grade book on the back side. So that is a replacement to Student Guide, Teacher Guide, which is what the Sonlight High School programs offer right now. This is coming out for 100, 200, 300, 400, those levels, the language arts programs this year in 2024. Now, that's not to say that it won't be out for history and other language arts levels in the future, but in 2024, we just have those 4 levels that are coming out right now. But if you want your student to be independent and doing that work without you, I know my daughter reads all her books in the middle of the night anyway, and then we discuss them later. So she would love something like this, where she could just go do all of her answers, do all of her work, and then I can grade it without us even having to sit down and discuss those books. That's an option.
But the great thing is you still can have those discussions. Yes. This is just a way for your kids to have a little more ownership. And then you still get to read through their short responses and all of that. So I think it's a great marrying of a little more independence and still having those great discussions. But maybe if your time is short, you can you can hone in your discussion on one thing or whatever, or you spend your discussion time on history.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let's talk about LAMP. This is also another component for high school that I think people are going to be really excited about, because this is something customers have asked for in the past or asked for assistance with. Why don't you tell everybody what LAMP is?
So LAMP is a language arts mentor program. And I know when I talk to people, that's the big thing. How do I grade my child's creative writing? Because Who among us has not talked to your child about their writing assignment and it ended in tears? For both of you, writing is so personal and it's so hard for you who's so close to your student to give feedback, and it's so hard for your student who's so close to you to receive that feedback. So with LAMP, we have employed a certified language arts English teacher who is going to take those writing assignments and give constructive feedback and a grade. So all the moms in the back are saying, woohoo, I don't have to grade writing anymore. So I really do think this is going to be a huge benefit for our customers.
Absolutely. So yeah, you're still going to be reading the same great Sonlight books that you love. LAMP will be available for the same levels I've referenced as well. But then, yeah, like Lisa said, there is going to be a teacher grading them, providing feedback to your student so that you don't have to do that anymore, which, yeah, I think will be really helpful for people either that don't feel like they have the skill set to grade writing, or like you said, Lisa, writing is personal. If it turns into a fight or tears with that student, it's much easier when there's somebody else providing that feedback to them. One important note about LAMP is it will run on a like traditional school class schedule though. So unlike virtual, which you can do anytime within that calendar year that you've registered for, with LAMP, there's going to be two different sessions, one that starts in August, one that starts in September. And that's going to be almost like an online class where you can opt out of assignments if you would like as the parent, but then the class is going to move on. So you won't get those papers graded if you take a week here or there off. So it's up to you how you want to utilize that. But I know for my daughter who's been homeschooled forever, I kind of look at this is an opportunity for her to learn to be accountable to somebody else's deadline besides mine as well, because in the past, if she said, oh, can I have an extra week on that? That might be something we would work out. But when you're taking this class from someone else, you won't have those types of opportunities. So something to be aware of if you like a very flexible schedule. But otherwise, I think it's a great preparation for college classes and anything beyond high school as well.
And I think it's worth noting that if you needed to take or were on vacation or were sick or whatever, you wouldn't be penalized for not
Right.
turning that paper in. Like it's not like a class that if you didn't turn it in, you got a 0. But you would just need to either skip that assignment or tack it on to the end, or if your child did it later, you would have to grade that, but they would need to move on to the next week. So, but no penalizing. Like, so don't feel like, oh my gosh, but we go on vacation in January, so 0, so hard to overcome. But that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, that's a great point. So it is still parent led. We know that you're homeschooling, you're the parent. It's definitely not like other online programs in that regard where, yeah, you get to determine the final grade for the transcript, all of those things at the end of the year. Let's talk about high school science too. I know people have asked for this for a long time too. If you're familiar with our high school science, Sunlight does use other programs. We don't create our own high school science. And this year we're bringing in some more Berean science courses. Lisa, do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, I was really excited about this as well. I did use the Berean chemistry the first year that we used it, or the Sonlight carried it, and we loved it. So down to earth, so understandable, so relatable. And so we are bringing on 2 new Berean classes. Earth science for your late middle schoolers, and then the Berean biology. So I know that people who have experienced the Berean chemistry will be excited to have those options. And we're not taking away anything. We're just adding more options, which I love that Sonlight does, because high school, if you log on to your local high school, their course catalog is huge. And I love that Sonlight continues to offer more and more options to make that high school experience so customizable, so specialized for your child. That's really exciting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've received so much good feedback on the Berean products that, yeah, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about them. So I'm excited to see those added. And yeah, like Lisa said, we're still keeping Apologia, so we've got that as well. So you can look at those and kind of determine which one sounds better. We will have some videos and stuff online as well, and keep checking the Sonlight website too, so that way you can kind of see if you're comparing two programs, maybe like the biologies will have more than one biology available now. So if you need advice or want to compare them, definitely let us know that as well. And some of the other mentors who have used some of these Berean products would be able to help you out as well. Let's talk to, there's going to be a few new book updates. If you're a newbie, you may not know this, but at Sonlight, sometimes we run into issues where books go out of print. And because of that, when they shift one book, sometimes they have to shift a few books and rewrite the instructor's guides and do different things. And so we do have a few new books coming for HBL 300, HBLE, and Science A. So if you are looking at any of those, you're going to want to look at your catalog and see that is marked in there, what the new titles will be. That way you can kind of determine what book sounds more interesting or what you're looking for. And we're also getting updated experiments in levels A through D. Lisa, do you want to talk a little bit about, like, let's say you've already done one of those levels and you're updating for a sibling. What does that mean for you if just the experiments are changing?
Well, first of all, if you're just updating and it's been 2 years or less, it doesn't have to affect you at all. So don't freak out. Like we haven't sold you, oh, this is easy to reuse and then you can't. That's not true. You still can reuse it. We're not changing anything because it was bad. Just as those national guidelines change and evolve, we have to keep up with those because we do make sure that our programs go with that. So first of all, don't freak out. You don't have to update anything. But if you want to update, like if you're like me and you never want to miss a great book, you can update your instructor guide at half price. And that would get you a new set of activity sheets that matched. And then you can just buy those 1 or 2 books that are coming in. That's an option. Or this is what I always did. I didn't update, but I just bought the new books because, again, who wants to miss a great book? And Sonlight has the best books. So you really have lots of options. And I tell you, one of the things that I really appreciate about Sonlight when we make these changes is we're telling you now, but this isn't going to happen for 5 or 6 weeks. And we give you, this is the information now, this is the information then, and you have time. Like you don't have to make a decision that you're not informed about. It's not like we're just going to say tomorrow, can't do that anymore. And you didn't even know to have a chance to make a decision. So I think adding new books is always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've never found a new book that I didn't like as well as books that were there anyway. So yeah, it's something that I usually do if it's only going to be 1 or 2 new books, like Lisa said, is I'll buy whatever program I was going to buy and then add in those 1 or 2 new books. Now, if it's a full overhaul, like what we're seeing with Science F, that one is going to be a full overhaul. It's using some of the same books, but not most of them, and the whole focus of that science program is changing, then you might want to look to see, do you want the older science package that's available until April, or do you want the new one that's coming out after? So again, look at your Sonlight catalog. You'll be able to see each book there. On the website, everything will switch over in April as well to the new products. So if you look before that, what you're seeing now is the old products that are there that are available for sale until that go live date in April when everything switches over. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But yeah, Science F is getting a full overhaul. Also, Talkbox.mom. We know you all love that program for foreign language right now. Spanish is the only language that Sonlight carries, but now we will be offering German and French as well in the new year. So with our Talkbox, you get 3 of the boxes, which is equivalent to 1 year of the program, as opposed to if you order it directly from Talkbox, it's more of a subscription where you get boxes as you go. So that's something different at Sonlight, that we carry those, but German and French are coming. So
That's
let's talk
exciting
about some of
too.
the, yes, which is exciting because I know that is one thing. They offer several languages, and people really like that program. If you're unfamiliar with Talkbox, let's kind of explain that, because I just realized I'm talking like the newbies know, but they may not know about Talkbox. So, what do you think of Talkbox, Lisa?
So, while I didn't use it because it's a newer product, I have watched a lot of the videos that Adeline has. They're on our website. You can watch them, and I love the way she walks you through how the program works. So it's an immersion kind of thing, and she uses natural language acquisition, just like you taught your child to speak. And so I know for the Spanish, one of the first boxes that you get is like your home box. And so she just teaches very common household words, and you just slowly replace the English word for some Spanish word that you know with the Spanish word. And so you are speaking a mix of them as you're learning, but it's so natural. And she doesn't focus on conjugations because that's not how we teach our kids to talk. We don't say, okay, you run to the store, but you ran to the store yesterday and you will run tomorrow. Well, that's not what we do. We just talk to them and they figure that out as you move along. And so that's how this talk box works. And it has pictures and there's audio files. So I could never teach anyone Spanish because I don't speak Spanish, but I can learn. And so those audio files are helpful. There's even a schedule if you want to count it for high school. There's some adaptations that you can do and count that. But if you're not, if your kids are young, like Sunny said, you get the 3 boxes, but don't feel pressured to run through that in a year with your 5-year-old. It's just a lot of resource for you. So I'm excited about, I took French in high school. I didn't know that I was moving to a state that has a large Spanish speaking population. Looking back, Spanish would have been more helpful. But I might just get some French and brush up on my on my language because it's good for your brain to think in a different language.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love, Lisa mentioned it, the way you learn most foreign languages in a class, you kind of learn it backwards, right? You're learning the grammar, you're learning how to write the words, how to spell the words. But if you think about your first language, you learn by listening to your parents speak to you. And then you start to pick up on, oh, I used the wrong form of this word, right? Think about how a 3-year-old talks, right? They might use the past tense verb or something like that. Well, then they learn what the right one is to say in context. And so TalkBox teaches you that way. You learn sentences already conjugated the right way so you know what sounds right to your ear. And it uses native speaker audio. So this is something we started with our family last year, and I love it. It works for all ages. I've got my 9-year-old and my 14-year-old doing it. We all practice together. You practice with the native speaker audio to get your accent right, because that is one thing that I was always insecure about in trying to speak a different language to somebody if it was their native language, was that my accent sounded weird. But she also is very encouraging and reminded everybody in her course that you don't make fun of somebody when they speak your language with an accent. So they are not doing the same thing to you. Are you attempting that language? It's a great program, and it's a very natural way to learn. So yes, very excited to see more languages coming, and hopefully we'll see even more down the line so that you'll be able to teach your children whatever language you want. But yeah, you can use it for high school credit. Even if you don't have a high schooler, though, you can start teaching very young children because it is very intuitive. So that is a great program. But let's dive into the actual promotions coming up. I know this time of the year, you start to see all the sales and people wonder, when is the best time to buy? Should I buy now? What if I wait? Is a better sale coming? I'm going to tell you the spring is historically the best time to buy. So don't wait because if you want to get the biggest savings and you're an all subjects package purchaser, now is the time. If you are not an all subjects package purchaser, then it might be a little different. But we'll talk about all the promotions coming up, and then if you have more questions, let us know that so that we can help you make those decisions. But March, let's talk about the March savings. Lisa, what is the big one that everyone's
So
always excited
everyone's
about?
so excited. And if you've been on social media or on the app, you can already see people wondering. So if you are an all subjects package user on the first 4 days of March, you will not save just 20% like every day. That's the great thing about Sonlight. It's always on sale. But you'll save 25% off retail on your all subjects packages. And like Sunny was saying earlier, don't worry that you're not finished, because when you buy that all subjects package, you have 1 year for your love to learn, love to teach guarantee. We're not saying you have to buy it March 1st and start March 7th or anything. That's not what we're doing. So if you are an all subjects package user and 1 or 2 new books doesn't upset you, because you can always go back and purchase them, you're still going to get your 10% discount. And if your order is over $50, you're still going to get free shipping. So pick up the new books. I always even got new books in levels that I'd already done before. So I always want to read a Sonlight book. So if that's you, it's a level that's not having any kind of significant change, and you're ready, you know this is what you need, that is the time to buy. There is not a better offer that Sonlight ever has. And there's the freebies that are coming in March that you would still be able to take advantage of. You're getting extra savings and the freebies. So that is the number one best, hands down sale.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're questioning like, oh, I am an all subjects package purchaser, but I don't like the ASP on the website, like maybe I use a different math, or I want to try the Newbery Science or something like that, you can still customize those ASPs as long as you have all the subjects and all the components required to be an ASP. You can still save 25%. So if you're having issues with that in your cart, definitely reach out to us and let us know. But like Lisa said, 25% off March 1st through 4th. So it's only 4 days. But that is when I always buy for my older child, because she gets the big ASP. My son, I update little pieces here and there, but he's reusing her programs. So that is when I buy hers. And like what Lisa said, if there's a new book coming, so for example, I'm going to be doing 300 with my daughter next year. There's like 1 new book that's coming. So I will still buy the package in March, get the 25% off savings, and then I'll just add that extra book if that's one that we want to do later on. So
You're going to
any
add the
new
book,
books,
Sunny.
yes. Yeah, that's true. I will. And any new book. So if you're like, oh, which one is this in March? It is going to be the 2023 package. So it's what's on the website now. After April, you will not be able to get these packages. So if you're planning to buy the 2023 package anyway, if you buy an ASP, March 1st through 4th is the time. Another thing I love in March is the payment plans. We have 12-month payment plans available. Do you want to talk about those, Lisa?
Yeah, because our payment plans are a little different, I think, than other companies' payment plans, or like your car payment. You pay your down payment and you pay every month. That's not how our payment plans work. So our payment plan is always 4 payments. The first one is 40% of your total, and the other 3 are the remaining 20, 20, and 20 to make 60. But when we have the 12-month payment plan, you pay your 40% down March. Then you don't have to make a payment in April or May. You pay 20% in June. You have July and August off, et cetera, et cetera. So you would make your final payment 12 months, so next March. One thing to note is that you cannot have more than 1 payment plan. So if you bought last year on the 12-month payment plan, you'll want to pay that off before you go to order. So just keep that in mind. You cannot have more than 1 payment plan going at a time. So some people I know will budget 1/12, or I guess there's 11 months left to pay 60%. So whatever that math comes out to be. And you can just save that and then go ahead and do that. You can always pay it off early if you tax refund comes or something like that. No fees, no interest. Very easy. It auto drafts. You don't even have to like mail a check in or anything. So the 12 months is great because you get 2 months in between. And those 2 months, if you buy in March, kind of turn out to be for us the months that we would spend a lot of money on something else anyway. So that's fun.
Yeah, I have always used a payment plan. So I think these are great because yeah, like Lisa said, there's no fees, there's no interest. So you're only going to pay the cost of your program. You're not paying anything extra or anything like that. It you will have to enter your social security number on the website though. There is a background check, so be aware of that. But I always tell everyone, even if you don't think your credit is great, go ahead and try it and see because it is a great option if you don't want to spend all of that money up front or if you're in a little bit of sticker shock. And March is the only month, 12-month payment plans are available. So be aware of that. And then Lisa mentioned the freebies. We like to throw in some freebies along with our sales and our big promotions like that. So in March, you will get a free Sonlight planner with tabs. If this is a product you've used in the past, you can replenish. Or if you have not checked that out, you can see that on the website as well. But it's a very flexible, customizable planner for you to use. And then you will also get the free blue Sonlight tote. Lisa, do you want to talk about that? I wish I don't have mine in the room with me. I can't show it, but
I should have grabbed one because I love a Sonlight tote.
yes.
I use them for library books and for my car bag when I'm traveling for, the things that you need. But it is a great canvas tote bag. It has the Sonlight logo on it. It has a zipper. That's super fun. The handle is expandable, so you can wear it on your shoulder or you can wear it as a crossbody. It has inside pockets to keep your phone or your wallet or something like that. Great if you're coming to a convention. You can put a little things in there, keep your catalog. But it's super fun. And when I was homeschooling and we had those, everyone had their own. We really used it for a library bag a lot. Sunlighters like books, so they hold books really well.
Yeah, they're really heavy duty. Anytime we do car school where we take school in the car with us, I grab the tote and I'm like, okay, put your school books in there, put the IG in there, and then we take it with us. But yeah, like Lisa mentioned, this one has a zipper. It's a nice heavy duty tote, zipper pocket on the inside. So it is really good for carrying all the things that you probably have as a homeschool family. So you will get one of those free in March as well. And now let's talk about the April promotions. Say you are like, oh no, I do want a new, I'm buying, Science F with my ASP. I want the new package or something like that. So I'm not going to buy in March. There's still promotions going on in April. And this is when the new products come out. So let's talk about what those items are.
Turn on my cheat sheet.
Oh yeah,
so
that you can see. So yeah, new products are coming out in April. So you'll want to keep an eye on the website. If you are unsure, say you are right there on the cusp and you're looking and you're like, oh, is this the old program? Is this a new program? Definitely check with us or get out the catalog and look because yeah, we want to make sure you're getting the right thing. All of those March freebies that we talked about and the payment plans, all of that is available all month in March through March 28th, I guess, not all month, but through March 28th.
We have Easter in between.
Yes. And so you can get those all month. And then the 25% off the ASP is just those first 4 days. So just be aware of that. But then in April, that's when all the new products will show up on the website. And take it away, Lisa. I'll let you talk about some of the promotions.
I got my cheat sheet going. So one thing about March, if you're not an all subjects package user, but you are a history Bible literature package user, you still get the freebies. You just don't get the 25%. So just remember that. Then for April, history Bible literature or more, you'll get the 9-month payment plan. So again, still 4 payments, 40% down, but now instead of skipping 2 months in between, you're going to skip 1 month in between. So pay, don't pay, pay, don't pay, pay, don't pay. And then this is exciting, 40% off your hands-on kits. So if you're doing world cultures, the 2 years of world history, you're going to get those craft kits, curated, all the things that you need inside there. Beautiful 4-color page, directions, so fun, scheduled in your instructor's guide, easy to be the hero mom when you're not the crafty mom. And the lap books for D, E, not F, G, and H. So your American history, your world history, and the elections lap book, which is awesome for this year. You can study the election cycle along with the elections. And then 50% off that great Sonlight planner. Sad that they didn't have that when I was doing it, because it has your meal plan, it has your grocery list, it has your chore chart, it has goal setting, it has your attendance, it has your schedule, so much in there. That is awesome. So 50% off, still a great deal. And if you already have it, you have your tabs, you can just get 50% off your pages and take your old pages out, put your new pages in. And then this is new. I can't wait for this. We love a branded grocery bag, those great laminated ones like you get at Trader Joe's. I know whenever I go to a state I haven't been to, I try to get into a Trader Joe's and collect that grocery bag. Well, we are going to start this year with that kind of bag. I also use those at the library. In addition to my groceries, I have to put that out there. They hold books well as well. This year, it's going to be from our World Cultures kindergarten program. So it's going to feature some of those things. And then as time passes, we will add more and more. And this is a very limited quantity. This is the only way that you can get this. So if you are a Sonlight memorabilia collector, this is something you might want to think about.
Yes, absolutely. That's going to be a collectible. Like Lisa said, with different levels, different years, it is limited. So order early if you want to get that, and it will come free with your order in April. And yeah, I should have mentioned that before. If you're not an ASP purchaser, you do still need to buy like an HBL, language arts, like some of the big packages to qualify for all of these. But all of that information is on the website, sonlight.com/sale. All of the freebies will be there as well. So just keep checking that and make sure, like if you're just buying something small, it may not qualify for all of these things. But if you're
the good news is the cart's going to populate for you. So
yes.
You don't even have to ask. Sometimes it's like, well, free if you ask, but no, if you order the right thing, it's going to show up in your cart that you're getting something for free. So the details are there, but you don't have to wonder. If you put it in your cart, the freebie's going to be there. If you don't, if it's not there, you didn't qualify. And an advisor or mentor, we are happy to tell you why it didn't get there and help you find the thing that would make it get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and my suggestion would be, even if you are not fully done with your program, if you know you're planning to use Sonlight next year, go ahead and pick out those options for your next school year and order them now. This is something I've done since Sonlight started doing these awesome sales. I used to purchase later in the year, but then with these sales, I was like, oh, I'm going to start, using this to save some money, get those longer payment plans, get the freebies, all of the things. And so I always check my box when it arrives to make sure that I got everything like I was supposed to. But then I close it back up until we're done with our current year, and then we celebrate Box Day after that. So you can choose how you want to do that with your kids if you want to put things on the shelves, but that way it's still exciting at the beginning of the next year. And like Lisa said, you definitely don't have to start school with these new products a week later. You're just ordering them now and saving some money, getting some freebies in the process. So let's talk, you mentioned conventions earlier. There's a couple additional offers if you go to convention. What are those?
Well, first of all, I get to meet the fabulous curriculum consultants. You can ask your questions. You can have a real-time conversation with those of us who have done this for years and years and years. You can bounce ideas off. So that's a great thing to just come to a convention if one's nearby. But we will be offering all convention attendees who stop by the Sonlight booth a $40 coupon off $250. And that's not restricted to history, Bible, literature, language arts, or anything. As long as your total is $450, you'll get a coupon code to enter at checkout, which will take $40 off of that. If you have friends who you drag along to the convention with you, because you've had such a great year homeschooling with Sonlight and you can't wait for them to, maybe they're thinking about homeschooling, or if they decided to homeschool, or maybe they homeschool with another curriculum and you're like, girl, that is not where it's at. We are having so much fun over here. So you bring them into the Sonlight booth. They are going to get up to $100 off of their first order, depending on, again, what they order. But if they get that all subjects package, they will get $100 off. We will have some things for sale there in the booth that you can take. Special catalog for convention attendees. So much fun. And you get to see all the things. Every year our design team does such a great job at making our booth exciting, and you can take a selfie, post it on the socials to show everyone that you came to Sonlight. But you can look through the next year's program, see the full instructor's guide, see some of the titles. It's fun. And I just think everyone should go to a convention if you have the opportunity. You get to see how many diverse people are homeschooling. You get to hear great speakers. Just so fun.
Yeah, and if you're somebody that likes to touch or see the product, I think, yeah, what you said there, that's huge. Because yeah, you can see photos online or watch videos of it, but when you can actually touch it and see, or like you said, come walk away with something that day, I think is fun. Also, though, if you've ordered from Sonlight in the past, Sonlight shipping is generally pretty quick as far as when you'll get your orders. But ordering in the spring too, I have found, is even faster than if I wait till the end of the summer, when that's kind of the busy, a lot of people have decided to homeschool right before the school year starts. And so that's usually when it's busier. If you order now, you're going to get your orders faster typically too. Also, there's an option in your cart to check the cart, which is something I like to do if you've been kind of playing around with your cart and adding things and taking them out, just to make sure you didn't forget something or you don't have duplicates of things. One year I accidentally ordered 2 science books because I had the same book, because I had clicked on it to look at the description and I accidentally added it to my cart. Did not even realize it. I thought it was an error in my box, and then I looked at the slip and I said, oh, I actually put 2 of that book in there. So, do the check cart option, even if you've been ordering a while. If you're a newbie right now, you're still pretty new to it, but even a few years from now, I would still recommend the check cart if you're sticking with Sonlight, because sometimes those things happen. Lisa, do you have any other advice, though, for somebody who's getting ready to place their next order, and any insights that they should think about that maybe we haven't talked about yet?
I mean, I do love that there is that time period from now until April when you have the options for both and you have all of the information. And I do want to stress that nothing that we're changing is because it was bad. So I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, well, they're changing it. So obviously I don't want the old, because we're not, like Sunny said, a book goes out of print. We have no control over that. And sometimes that might mean shifting 2 books. It's all very fluid, but we're not ever taking something out because it's bad. So don't feel like you're less than if you order in March and save money, but you got the old thing. Nobody's going to know. It's fine. Do take advantage of the resources that we have for you to help you make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck, that you're getting everything you need, but not getting extra. I know when I check carts, there's a timeline sticker and I say, did you mean to have that? Well, no, but I want those. Well, they come in the package, so remember that we're here to help you. We want you to get everything that you need. We don't want you to be surprised when you open your box and think that, oh, there's not something there that I needed, or I have to have a science book. And guess what? Guess what you're getting for your birthday next week? It's a lovely science book.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, make sure and really if one of those freebies is more appealing to you, do that. That's awesome. I love that Sonlight already discounts their curriculum, and to show our appreciation and to thank you, we give you something new. I have all of the things, that I've gotten free, and they are collectibles, and I remember excitement at getting those. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Lisa said, I love that it's posted, it's available now so that you have all the information to make these decisions and we're not rushing you. The only thing you need to be aware of if you want to take advantage of that 25% off sale, that is only 4 days. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I think I want to do that, but you have questions, definitely reach out to us in the app now. We don't want to overlook or miss something and then you've missed out, and you can tag any of us in the app too. So if you're like, hey, I saw this person's not answering me, we may not have seen it. So I don't want to overlook anything that's going to put you at risk for missing out on those good sales. Make sure you tag us or send us a DM. That way we can help you out right away if you have any questions about that.
And especially on those 4 days, the advisors will work hard to get to your questions, but
yeah.
As you can imagine, there's a lot of questions, and we're all working feverishly on those 4 days, and we want you to be able to take advantage of it. But if you have questions, Sunny is right. Now is the time to ask. Get them answered, get your cart filled up, and then all you have to do is press go on that day. That's really the best way to do it.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I usually do is I'll sign in, I create my cart when I have plenty of time, and then the day of the sale, then I go in and check out. So yeah, that's a great tip there too.
Because as long as you're signed into your account, put in your email address and your password, you can load your cart and it will stay for 30 days. Like, it's not going to go away. A lot of times people will tell me, oh, well, I was signed in and then I looked and it's gone, but they're not signed in then. So just sign in, your cart's still there. It'll stay 30 days. So just don't wait till the last minute because it does get a little hairy.
Absolutely. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today. And like we said, reach out if you have any questions. Let us know what you need help with, and we would love to assist you.
Yes.